B&B Podcast. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, to the B&B Podcast. This is your host, B. Hope you're well and safe during these troubling times. So our mission on this podcast is to give you the tools and the knowledge so you can become a fully realized person. As you can see on the video, I'm surrounded by some nature. Just because I'm traveling right now, I need to step back from a little bit and analyze the situation. But also take this as a reminder so you can get outside, get some air, and help you rehab and detox. So on episode 41, I want to explain to you why you should self-educate yourself. Self-education is very important in your life. It's going to help you conquer some roads, and ultimately it'll be better for your longevity on this planet. So I want to explain the benefits of self-education, and then we're going to dive right into some suggestions from my experiences that I can give to you. So let's dive into it. Oh yeah. So benefit number one, right? There's a positive correlation between wealth and education. So people who have college degrees, people who have technical education or some education in some form or whatever manner, they're more likely to have a higher salary compared to their counterparts. This is because they meet those qualifications or they have those requirements that make them stand out compared to the peers. This is a great source of obtaining revenue. However, I don't only see this as revenue. I see this more as building value, building those habits, and ultimately building a lifestyle with that education. For example, say you know how to cook. Say you know how to cook for the homeless. You take your schedule, you divide it, determine what days you want to cook, and ultimately that's good for your wealth as a whole. Not with revenue, but the wealth that's in yourself. So most importantly, right, wealth can help you gain that revenue, but most importantly, that education builds more wealth upon you in the form of the things I said, through your habits, your lifestyle, and so forth. So that's benefit number one. Benefit number two, there is a greater chance of livelihood and longevity whenever you pursue education. So people who tend to self-educate themselves, they tend to live longer. The reason why, because they know how to combat these issues that are going to later come into their life. So for example, you have dementia, you have Alzheimer's, you have Parkinson's, you have all these neurological diseases that are going to degenerate your brain over time if you do not keep up with the studying, if you do not keep up with learning. And that's what's going to keep you away from getting depressed. It's going to keep you away from being anxious. It's going to keep you away from being from gaining stress. All the little things that self-learning implements you to do is going to help you decrease those chances of being unhealthy. So that's why it's highly stressed that you self-educate yourself. So therefore, you know what are you aware of your body, and also what are you aware of your mind. So that's benefit number two. Benefit number three is to bring positive community change around your life. So with growth comes change. With change comes prosperity for most of the people around you. You can use the abilities that you learn from self-education and then apply them to regular life. So therefore, the people around you and yourself are better flourished. So if you look back at the early empires like Mesopotamia, Babylon, the Greeks, the Romans, they highly stressed education. They took what they had from these teachers, they took what they had from the mentors, and from that they're able to create remarkable things that we see today, more an advanced level, but that we got inspiration from. They're able to build aqueducts, immigration, new mathematical formulas when it comes to astronomy, or even an economic system. All these things play a part in society. And through self-education, you can take what you learn and apply them into regular life. And therefore, the people will thrive, you will thrive, and ultimately there'll be a community of educated individuals. And most importantly, that community change can not be forced, but can be brought upon future generations as they look up to influential people. So, benefit number four, education enhances curiosity. The more you self-educate yourself, the more curious you're going to be, because say you have a question that needs to be answered. So therefore, you're going to dive into the books, you're going to dive into some sources, and therefore you're going to have those answers later along the line for you to pursue. With curiosity means more growth, and that's why I think it's very important to be the most not courteous, to be the most not vigilant, be aware of how you are reading and how you're taking this education. So that's benefit number 4. Benefit number 5, it can improve a skill set or a mindset. So self-education can improve something that you are learning along the way. So for example, say you have a guy who has an accounting business. However, he's struggling to gain clients because he can't properly communicate. So what does he do? He takes some communication classes. He learns about human interaction. And when, say, for example, in a month, 2 months, you see that his clients are rushing towards him because he's learned these skills to help him interact with this environment. So those are the benefits of self-education. Before we get into it, I just want to explain that self-education can get you along can get you on a good path, and I highly stress that you do this. So now let's dive into the suggestions for you to begin this process. So suggestion number 1 is develop a plan. You need to develop a plan first. In order for you to begin your plan, you need to figure out what you want to do. You want to figure out what is motivating you to educate yourself. So find topics that you are willing to learn. Find some interesting subjects that you are interested to learn, and that'll help you along the way. So with that, you want to write something that's going to help you remember or to challenge you. So it could be in the form of a deadline. It could be in the form of scheduling certain days for study material. Or it could be like a board where you have educational goals so you can track. This will not only make you more efficient, but this will also keep you occupied during your time. So therefore, you won't be wasting all these things coming along you. So step number 2 is to find course platforms. Once you develop that plan, you need to find those places where you're going to learn. Course platforms are very important, but you need to find high quality, little to no cost platforms. So I'm going to give you a list what I recommend. So I recommend Khan Academy. I recommend Udemy. I recommend Coursera, YouTube, and even some social media sites. So when it comes to Khan Academy, YouTube, and Coursera, these are free educational resources. They have tons and tons of subjects to learn, and they usually have a good teacher behind them. Now, however, with YouTube, you might have to do some searching because since it's a really broad platform. So you might have to do a lot of quality search to find the courses and the content that you want. Now, when it comes to Udemy, I highly recommend Udemy. However, it does cost money for some courses. Some courses may cost $10. Some courses may cost $100. Some courses may cost $50. It depends on the range of what you want to learn. So it's very important to keep that in mind. And let's go to the social media sites. So social media is very biased in this generation, ladies and gentlemen. However, I do believe Instagram and Quora are the 2 best social media platforms so you can self-educate yourself. However, you do need to find the right influencers and the right content creators to begin this journey. Do not follow anybody who might manipulate you, get you to pay so much money because it'll later decrease everything that's going on. So those are some course platforms so you can start. Step number 3 is to learn a trade or your skills. Learning a skill or a trade will later help you along with finding a job. It'll help you increase the chances of you getting promoted and so forth. So whenever you have that skill, whenever you have that drive to complete some trade school, you're working towards your passion. You're working towards something that you feel is important. So therefore, it might get you into a better position. It's going to take some time, but ultimately it's going to help you build upon yourself and build those goals. And if you look at it honestly too, people who do have those college degrees, people who are in debt, They're not happy right now because college only prepares you for the research. It doesn't give you experience in those skill sets. Skills do. Skills will give you the proper experience, the skill sets, and it'll give you decent money. So that's something you can consider when building your self-learning path. Step 4 are within your books. I highly stress this. I think books are the primary source of self-learning. Just because you can grab a book anywhere and you can dive into a topic. Just reading a random article of something that you never even heard of is a path to self-education. Books are very insightful, they're very knowledgeable, and not only you can keep them for your present life, but you can also keep them for your future generations and for your children and so forth. So therefore, when they see you when these children at a young age see you reading these books, they're like, oh, mom and daddy are reading books. Maybe I should learn something like that. And that's what's going to keep that generation from reading those books. So that's very important to keep in mind. Now, step 5 is to find mentorship. Mentorship is very important when you want to reach a highly successful career. Just because they're able to give you those experiences that they had, and they can give you knowledge from their past mistakes. So therefore, you won't have to make any. However, you do need to watch out for wary mentors because they may use you for their own gain or benefit. So you really have to be picky when finding a mentor. Find one that you can trust. Find one that's always going to be there for you, and honestly, find one that's going to be reliable because you don't want a mentor who's just not going to be reliable, right? So those are the benefits. Those are the steps on building self-education. This is very important. Self-education is going to get you where you need to be. It's going to help you build those skills. It's going to help you build value within yourself, and ultimately it's going to build you into a better person to help other people, to be a better influence among greater men and greater women. So that's that, ladies and gentlemen. I really hope that you like this content, episode 41, why you should self-educate yourself. If you like the channel, please subscribe to the channel. If you like the videos, please like the videos. Don't be afraid to comment. And honestly, if you need anything, do not be afraid to contact us.